Whoa, I really got lost. Like, super lost. And now I think I found my way. That was cheesy. Okay, so I'm back. Hello, Snack Pack. Welcome back to Travel Snacks. Or if this is your first time, weird video to be popping up on, but welcome. Welcome to Travel Snacks. And the reason it's kind of weird is because I haven't made a video in a very long time. It is a personal challenge to me that today's video is fairly unedited. Fairly just me talking. I don't have a script. This is just me coming back to YouTube and talking about why I quit in the first place. I'm not going to go through the whole existence of all America and the whole universe in this video. But as you see, I still have my van. Simon, Eileen, Vantasia, Sharpe, the Snackmobile, aka Snoopy. I don't know, I was living in my car for a while, then I was living in this van for a while, and then I just hit a wall and I got into like a major depression and ended up living in Vegas for a short while, a few months, and that was okay until it wasn't. Had a bit of an issue while I was there and had to leave pretty quickly. And now I've been gathering myself together here in Texas. Now, I was going to go back out on the road in my van, and I gave that a try. And if you watched one of my previous live streams a few months back, I think I explained this. Everything's kind of a blur, but I basically was like, okay, where's close enough that I could just start going back out on the road, but not get too carried away here. So I drove to Oklahoma. I got there and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't even stay the night there. Like, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this. So I ended up driving back. Now, I did end up staying the night in Oklahoma because on my way back to Texas, I did get tired. So I pulled into some convention center parking lot, stayed in the back of this van, and that was pretty much my last night sleeping in this van. All right, I saw a string of hotels right here. So it looks pretty promising because there's a lot of hotels and lots of parking. Oh, it's a convention center? Okay, bet. Parking here. Whew, I am tired. Okay, so that's the Holiday Inn. That's the convention center. And I'm just kind of in the middle. Good morning, Oklahoma. No cars. I'm just out here sticking out like a sore thumb. Well, anyways, I'm about to leave too. So that was the last official time I slept in my van. And now, as you can see, it's pretty much cleared out. I'm getting ready to sell it. I know it is very sad. I've worked through a lot of that sadness. Personally, I know it's sad for a lot of you because you've been rocking with the Snackmobile for the last few years. And it's been a very difficult decision, but this van is made for snacking and made for adventure. And if I'm not going to be using it to its full potential, then I really think somebody else deserves to live its best life with Snoopy. And so anyways, I have no idea. I've been cleaning it out. It's pretty much ready to go. But I don't know how to price this van because if I was just selling a Chevy Express van with this many miles, it'd be worth like $1. But because it's got all the solar and lithium battery and diesel heater and toilet and fridge and all the stuff, it's all built out nicely. I don't know. I went on some of those websites like Van Trader and some of the Facebook groups, and for this van built out, it ranges from like $5,000 to like $25,000. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be unrealistic and price it too high, but also I want to get the most from it, because obviously, like, you know, who wouldn't? Anyways, that's just a side note. But the van has just basically been my daily driver since then, which is not convenient when you're just like a regular person not living in a vehicle, because I mean, it's not convenient to be just going to the store and going all these places just in a big old heavy van. I wanted to talk a little bit about, well, before I do that, how are you? I've missed you a lot. For those that have been rocking with me and Travel Snacks since the beginning of 2019 is when I started doing the car content, I have loved the community, the Travel Snacks community, the snack pack. But how are you? How you been? Leave it in the comments, because I really have dropped off the face of the earth, and let me explain why. So when I got here to Texas, like I said, I was planning to still do some van content, do some trips, some travels, keep doing the van life, blah, 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 on like a part-time basis. And mentally, I just couldn't do it. And I think when it comes to content creation, I think it's really a difficult thing. As a society, we really haven't, like, I don't know if there's been any studies or whatever on the effects of being a full-time content creator, but I look at it almost like death by 1,000 tiny cuts. And let me explain that to you a little bit, because it's like when you have like a traditional job, nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work. You go to your job and you might just get like to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, like I want to punch myself in the face because I'm just so sick of my job. And that's the human plight. We have to work. But when it's content creation, it's like when I first started out, I was like an innocent, spry, younger person, just like, I just like gonna live in my car, share what I'm learning, and just be adventurous. And that was it. Like, there was no like master plan. I wasn't trying to be like an authority on car living or any of that. I just was like, oh, this is cool. I want to travel so I can save money, and I can do that by living in my car, and then eventually van and stuff like that. But what happens is, you know, you start out doing that, and then like one person will be like, oh, your music's too loud in this episode. And you're like, oh, okay. And then next time I edit, I'll adjust that. And then the next few months later, it's like, your music's too low. I can't hear, like, you know, that transition, blah, blah, blah. Or somebody's driving by in a truck and it's too loud, or, you know, you know, blah, 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 a million other things. It's like, I don't think you should have done that. That's not Christ-like. Or, you know, I wouldn't have done that. Or you should have done this. Or that's not the right diesel heater. Or that's not this. Or all these things. And it's like, when you're a people pleaser, you want to please people. And so, you know, it's like, starts to become like, okay, like, oh my gosh, you know, okay, let me change that. Let me change that. And why does this video look so weird? Because I've recorded it 3 times because my audio keeps going out. I am super out of practice. Anyways, I am a strong person, but you can even look at a lot of the, my hair is sticking because it's hot and sweaty. You can even go to like a lot of other YouTube pages that have like a million times more than people on their channels. I do. And many of these creators, they hit a wall. They just burn out, you know, and it's just a lot, you know. And so that's one big bubble, you know. You have like all these comments, and it doesn't matter, like, you got a lot of love and support, but you also just have so many opinions coming at you, and sometimes you just don't know where to go from there. Then you have the other bubble, which is you're in a community of other people on YouTube. So if you do sewing videos, you're going to be in a community of other people that make sewing videos. So then you make friends with other people, and then you're also looking at other people like that are doing better than you. So you're like, oh my gosh, what are they doing better than me? And like, maybe I should try this, maybe I should try that. Okay, that's that. And then you have the YouTube gurus that are like, if you don't put your titles like this, or if you don't put your thumbnails like this, you're not going to get viewers or subscribers. And it's like, when you're like, life depends on that income, you try to maximize as much as you can. And so you just get lost, or at least I lost myself. I lost my way. I lost a piece of my mind. Like, I felt so just, I didn't even know how to make decisions. I just wanted people to make decisions for me. People would ask me very basic things, and I'd be like, I don't know, just decide for me. I can't even think straight. And it put a lot of pressure on people in my life because I just couldn't function as like a normal person when it came to being a content creator. And it was very depressing. I consciously did not decide to quit YouTube. I just kind of slid off the edge of the cliff a little bit because I made that video at the end of February, and then I had the footage for the follow-up video, and I was like, I'll get to it in a couple days. I'll keep editing it, and I'll put it out next week, then the next week, then the next week. And then I got a job because I have to pay bills. And then that was like, I wanted to focus on being the best I could for that. And then I'm like, okay, well, in a couple weeks I'll put this video out. And then it just kept going and going and going. And before I knew it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's been like months. And then that started to stress me out. And then I was like, okay, I had started to put myself out on dating apps, and I was like, you know what, the thing that I'm going through right now is dating, so let me just make a video about that. And so I made a video about dating like 3 months ago, and the guy that I was talking to at the time, I hadn't even met him yet. We were planning to meet up because he was in another city. He found my YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, like, it kind of weirds me out when I am talking to somebody or getting ready to date somebody and they look at my channel, because it's kind of weird, because then they know more about me than I do about them, and it's just like, it's just uneven and it just feels weird. Anyways, he watched one of my videos and he watched the video about dating, and then he's like, wow, you're pretty negative. And I was just like, what the heck, And then he was like, maybe you're not ready for dating, maybe you're not ready to date. And I'm just like, bro, I don't even know you. Like, you don't know me. I've never met you. You don't, like, I'm speaking my experience about dating, my actual living thing that I am doing in my own personal life. It's from my mouth on my channel to people that, my snack pack pals that know me. And you're commenting, like, it upset me, but I liked him. But I was just like, it made me feel bad. It made me feel like, wow, am I just a big complainer? But it's like, isn't that what your own YouTube channel is? So that you can share with people what you're going through and your thoughts, because this is my actual life. And like, either you relate or you don't. And if you don't relate, you can share your stories and blah, blah, blah. It's like, whatever. So anyways, it really bothered me. And so anyways, I told him that, and he apologized, and then we talked for a little while longer, but then he just wasn't the one. Anyways, that's not even the point of my story. But I was just like, I was just letting everybody's thoughts and opinions dictate what was going on with my decisions. And like I said, I wanted people to make decisions for me because I just, like, it was a bad cycle. And so after that, I was like, I literally need to listen to God and just take a break and just rest. And it's going to have to be okay. And the people that want to rock with me afterwards, when I come back on YouTube, they will. And the ones that don't. I have no bad feelings about it. And honestly, I've received so many positive comments, Instagram messages, emails. For those of you that are still supporting me, like, I get donations still sometimes. A lot of you are still subscribers to the membership. I mean, you guys are real ones for that. I am so sweaty. Oh my gosh. I just was like, I need to get back to being who I am. I need to trust myself, have confidence in myself. And when I say that, I don't mean trust in myself. I mean, trust in God. He made me who I am, and that's great. And I should embrace who I am, not who everyone else thinks I should be, or who they want me to be, or who YouTube thinks I should be, or anything else. So basically, I just allowed myself to stop. The thing that I said I wasn't going to do was I was not going to stop making videos, because I've been making videos, at least 2 to 3 videos a week for years, and I just stopped and let it be okay. And shortly after that, I was watching a documentary, I think on Netflix, called Simone Biles Rising. And you may or may not know who that is. She's like an Olympic gymnast who's very popular and like one of the best. And I was watching this documentary, and I had to pause it because I literally, it like gave me the chills, and I started to tear up, and I was like, this is exactly how I feel. And I've watched a lot of other YouTubers share their hitting a wall, and this was one of the things that just really stopped me in my tracks, because it is so accurate. And I know I'm not a gymnast or whatever, but or an Olympic athlete in any regard, but you'll get what I say in a minute. So basically, just a short little story is, she worked all her life, all these things to like be at this Olympic level, and she made it to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And she was going through a lot mentally too, but she did this vault, and she flipped, and she landed in a weird way, uneven. And then she just was like, got off of the mat, and she went over to her teammates, and she's just like, I'm done. And she ended up leaving the Olympics.
And we are just being told by the officials that Simone Biles is out of the competition tonight.
I love you guys, but you're going to be just fine.
Like, think about how hard you have to work to get to the Olympics. Like, that's your whole existence. Like, your whole life is dedicated to that. And she just went home to her parents. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's a quitter. She gave up on her teammates.
This woman just quit at the Olympics, and I'm going to tell you why I'm calling it quitting, and I'm not accepting an excuse of, oh, the mental stress.
It's like we already carry that weight on our own. Like, I really don't need your 2 cents.
Just the media was like trashing her and all these things. And then now she makes this documentary, which you should go watch. And in that documentary, you hear like how there were so many other things going on with her mentally. And she said that she got something called the twisties, which sounds pretty funny for those that are not gymnasts. But if you think about it, like, that's so appropriate for that, a term for that industry.
World champion Simone Biles posted video of her crashing to the mat yesterday with what is known as a bad case of the twisties.
Twisties are kind of when the brain stops communicating with the body, and the body decides to do one thing and the brain wants to do another. And so the athlete feels very out of control.
I'm getting lost with my skills. In gym, we call it the twisties. Should be a forbidden word, because it sucks to have them for anybody.
And the only way to cure it is to take some time off and to understand why this happened.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. I got the YouTube twisties. And basically it's a mental block where your brain does not, like, it gets twisted up and lost in what you're doing. Your brain doesn't know like what's up or down or where to land or how to land right. And you could be the best of the best of the best, but you just like, if there's stuff going on in your mind that you haven't been able to work out, you will just not be able to do it. And she was like, I'm done. Like, my whole career is done. And she just stopped. And she wasn't thinking about her future or if she was going to try for another Olympics or anything. She was just like, I just need a break. And it hit me so much, because it's like, she's an Olympic athlete. I'm just over here with like a basic YouTube van life channel. But I could relate so much, and I could see like other YouTubers that I've felt so much empathy for. Sorry, it's getting dark in here, but I could like have so much empathy for, because I feel the same way. And you just hit a point where you don't know up from down. And I just had to take that break. Then over the past like month and a half, I've been like, all right, you know, I'm starting to remember who I am, and I'm starting to like feel more confident, and, you know, remember that I'm a happy person, a positive person, a joyful person, a confident person, strong. And I've been walking 4 to 5 miles 5 days a week. I've been lifting my little weights. I've been like feeling like just myself again. I've been praying more. I want to feel joy. I want to just be in gratitude. I just want to be joyful and happy. And I was like, I want to take people along with me. And I want to remind people that you don't have to feel alone. You don't have to do really anything everyone keeps telling you need to do. If you need to take a break, take a break. And it's going to be okay. I intentionally am trying not to edit this video because perfection is a problem for me. Like, I feel like I need to do the most. Like, even it getting dark in here is stressing me out right now, because I'm like, the video quality is not going to be great. Like, who the flip-flop cares? And I also don't want to make any promises about where this channel is going, because I don't know. All I can tell you is that I'm ready to share some things that's going on in my life. And when I turned 50 last year, it hit me like a wrecking ball. Lots of things changed, and I want to start talking about that. Like, I know, especially women at this age, it's like you still want to be relevant, especially if you're single, you're still dating, you know, your looks start going sideways, your health starts going sideways, your family's aging, like, you know, you're trying to figure out your retirement, you're doing all these things. Not to say that men aren't going through that too, but I'm not a man, so I don't know. But especially in my Gen X, like, if you're in Gen X, whoop whoop, like, you know, shout out in the comments. It's a thing. When you get into this age range, lots of things start changing, and I want to share those things and share what I'm learning, and also some of my adventures that I'm doing, and things I'm gonna be doing. But I don't want to make any promises because I don't want to stress myself out. So anyways, it is getting pretty dark in here. That's why I quit YouTube for a while. I'm back. I'm gonna take my time, and if there's something that you would love to see or hear, not full-time van life, I'm not doing that, but if there's something that you'd like to see or hear on this channel, or you want to talk about it, let me know in the comments. I appreciate you so much. I love you. If somebody hasn't told you, you are loved and valuable, and you're not alone. And honestly, like, I watch now in my, like, where I'm at in my life, most of the videos, the YouTubes that I watch, I always look for videos that are like over an hour, because it's like, sometimes I just want to hear somebody else talking. That might seem pathetic, but you know what? That's where we are in this world. Is like, it's lonely out here. So, you know, maybe my channel is just going to be where just come and talk and relate to each other. And yeah, so I love you. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Snack time.